Welcome back to Soda City Live. It's opening weekend for the Trusted Theater's production of Little Shop of Horrors. Joining me today with more is the theater executive director, Jessica Fincher, and Terrence Henderson, who is also the choreographer and portrays Audrey II, the plant, if you didn't know that, right? So let's talk a little bit about your version of Little Shop of Horrors. And I'll start by saying I'm a fan, but not of the horror story of it. I'm familiar with it when Tashina Arnold and Tisha Campbell took over. I guess it was late 80s, early 90s.
Yes.
So that's the version I know.
Yes.
So tell me, how is it going to be this weekend?
So we are very excited this weekend. We are sold out for this weekend.
Awesome.
We still have limited tickets available for next and some for the end of the run, so we encourage people to get them now.
Okay.
Our version of Little Shop, we really wanted to take the script and think about how it relates to us now. You know, the story of the wealth gap, the story of capitalism taking over, the story of kind of where we are, and we've really kind of leaned into Skid Row as a realistic place, as opposed to the idea of Skid Row as a mythical cityscape. And so it's really interesting to kind of lean into that. It is touching and alarming at points and very funny. So.
Okay, so we're going to be entertained because it's an entertaining story.
Oh, it's so
and
funny.
It's I wouldn't say a little far-fetched, but how do you make it real for us today in today's world?
Yeah, I know for me, like playing the plant as using the plant as a puppet in the show. So playing the plant as a human being, it was one of my sort of first starting points with Jessica's vision of sort of grounding it in more reality of like how to sort of make it something we could relate to in terms of capitalism taking over, you know, more like a vampire, you know, a blood-sucking, you know, creature, but in the sort of higher sense of how we're sort of sucking the life out of all these sort of uber oppressed people, and what that means to me was kind of how I grounded the character in some more realism.
And that's good because as I thought about it, when, you know, I heard you guys were bringing it to the stage, I was thinking, okay, so how is this going to be different? And then well, because I guess originally it was a horror movie. It was really meant to scare people. So now, does your version kind of see it like that, where it's meant to really scare people, or is it more of a thinker and you're going to have fun with some singing and dancing mixed in? So how would you kind of describe it all together?
I would say it is not horror. We don't have blood and guts, those kind of things. It gets dark and intense at times, I would say, but not necessarily scary. It is very funny.
Okay.
So, you know, we're not full camp, but there's still a campiness to it. There's still some satire to it in terms of how the script looks at B movies, horror B movies.
Okay.
So I find it funny, and then, you know, there are moments we've really approached the dentist relationship with Audrey with some realism because there is some domestic violence, and we've really approached that in a realistic way.
Okay.
And so those are some moments that I think really depart from the humor that was in the original movie and original play, but are really relevant to now because those things are not funny. They are real. And I think we've done a really good job of tackling them within this show that is also funny and entertaining. You also get some social sense of responsibility that we have to ourselves and others.
Good stuff. Now talk about the choreography, Terrence. So let's talk about the dancing. What do you compare the dancing to? Have we ever seen this scale of dancing, or what is it similar to?
Yeah, it's a lot different. It's a departure from the original and how people are used to seeing the sort of 60s doo-wop group, you know, and the sort of glitzy sequin dresses. One of the images I kept giving the cast and the actors was like there's a drain on stage that's sort of sucking everyone down and pulling you down. And so this idea of things that are sort of of draining down, like water seeps into the ground, that feeling of your feet being pulled down. So a lot of the movement is very weighted and very grounded, but then you have these people who learn how to maneuver and dance inside of these things, right? Like we do in life. You got to dance through the hard times sometimes. And so try to how to find that groove and grind, you know, down in that same thing. So it's a little darker, a little grounded, a little grittier. I sort of compare it to like a mix between a Rihanna Savage X Fenty show, you know, and a Beyonce concert, you know.
Okay, Rihanna.
Yeah, you know, we give it a little pizzazz.
Okay, and I don't know if we have time, but you guys are going to have a summer camp coming up, symposium. Do you have a quick second to talk about that?
Yes, so check out our website.
Okay.
It is free for all high school students. It is running for 3 weeks in July. There's 2 weeks that are devising camp where they write a script and perform it, and then a week of sketch comedy. So I encourage you to come out. It's a really great free opportunity.
And it's for what age groups?
9th through 12th grade.
And do you have to have any prerequisites to get into it?
No, it's available to anybody.
Oh, great stuff there. You know, I love a summer camp. I have 3 kids I'm trying to entertain through the course of the summer, so I love a summer camp. So that does it from here. We appreciate you. We'll be back in just a bit with a little bit more Soda City Live.